Sienna God, hello all. Good afternoon, and Watto. Thank you for watching. This is day 9 of reading Lone Wolf Alpha Squad Copy Over by James Rink, and this is his story. Okay, let me start over because it said Kruger at the bottom here. So that's who we're talking about now, Kruger. Kruger originated in a parallel reality in which the Nazis won World War II. Kruger was founded by Gabriel Kruger, Kruger, as a Nazi military and weapons contractor, works closely with Mars Defense Force on Mars, and has a facility on the moon. Considered to be more positive of the factions and upper management, is ready to release military records to Kruger vets when ET disclosure is publicly announced. Bring it on. When's the disclosure? Featured in the Mirror's Edge video game series. And here is Kruger's logo, insignia, whatever. Shoreline Group runs base security at Area 51. Not sure how old they are, but they have been mentioned in many ancient texts that are around 5,000 years old. Their focus is extracting information, ideas, and knowledge by means of astral integration and no matter energetic fields. These resources are shared with super soldiers to protect valuable and very secretive information due to ongoing missions unable to access more information. Featured in the Uncharted video game series. And here is their thing right there. Ultimate SSP military contractor due to ongoing missions unable to access more information. Trinity was founded in 1881 to infiltrate archaeological research teams around the world in order to gain wisdom of ancient and alien technologies. They sought to backward engineer these technologies in order to help stabilize electromagnetic and quantum fields. Delphi House. Delphi House was founded in 1918 by Peter Mason to find ways to cure people who were made to waste by poisonous gases used in World War I. He would use fragrances of natural plants to heal people, and found patients would recover much faster from surgeries and various cancers and physical abnormalities. His treatments helped patients of the Spanish flu and Chernobyl and Fukushima with excellent results. Delphi also used experimental gases upon MILAB victims, MILAB. Here's their doohickey there. DARPA, DARPA. DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency founded in 1958. They are tasked as the R&D division of the Department of Defense. They seek to apply emerging technologies to help better equip the U.S. Armed Forces. DARPA is considered the bottom of the barrel of the planetary corporations because they would get the old, outdated technology scraps from the other planetary corporations. Congress throws them about $3.4 billion each year, but most of their money, in parentheses, $20 billion plus off the books, is made through subcontracting to all the really bad planetary corporations like Monarch, Mobius, and Umbrella, as well as cabal groups, some of which do not have humanity's best interest in mind. Officially, they have 250 employees, costing $90 million per employee. Really, DARPA? That's what it says. Because I was like literally thinking, really? And I was like, really, DARPA? And here is their logo thing. The 5 largest private military contractors. Lots of the personnel are required to staff stations, bases, and planets. The largest and most advanced military contractors fulfilling SSP staff positions include, primarily but not limited to, Kruger, Monarch Solutions, Ultimate, Shoreline, and DARPA. Alpha Squad. The Alpha Squad started with a group of rogue super soldiers and criminals that escaped their enslavement from various planetary corporations. They banded together to do small freelance mercenary missions. As time progressed, more and more super soldiers sought refuge and joined their ranks. In the current here and now, Alpha consists of 100 super soldiers. A soldier must be able to achieve a full body Kundalini activation in order to join the collective. This process is referred to as golden form or heightened stage. Soldiers are cloned out, so in the event of death, they can be quickly brought back into service. The genetically enhanced assets are usually 6 foot tall or taller, and depending on purpose, many have hulked out bodies with programmable matter weaponry that can pop out of their bodies. Training center looks like, oh, there's a period, out of their bodies. Training center looks like what you see in the Halo series. Perhaps this was based off the Alpha Squad. They chose the name Alpha Squad because it is the first group which is sent into battle They face the most obstacles, dangers, and deaths. Only the best of the best is allowed in the squad. There is a group known as Alpha Squad Council, which consists of various retired and backup support staff that oversees the organization. They include a benevolent AI former assets mechanics, architects of the Matrix, engineers, and Nazis who came to the light. In the future, Alpha continues to grow in its members and prestige. It eventually becomes the most elite squad of super soldiers that serves the planetary corporations. They will also play a key role in defeating the Ciakahrr, Ciakahrr, Draco, and soon after liberate the galaxy. Chapter 4, A Paperclip Agenda. The Antarctic German Nazis knew they were outnumbered, and they understood the masses would never accept a one-world government without heavy amounts of brainwashing and an army of soldiers loyal to their cause. With help from advanced Tesla technology, they began work on the creation of a superhuman who could overtake the military and the current power structure and announce themselves as the rulers of humanity. These Nazi Ubermans would become a cloned army of genetically enhanced super soldiers and sleeper agents. Ronald Reagan once commented to presidential monarch and mind control victim Kathy O'Brien, oh dang, I already read her book, the only way for world peace is to control the masses. That's true. With the advent of modern computers, yeah, that's what he said in there. With the advent of modern computers, Tesla-based HAARP, H-A-A-R-P, began to be used for weather control and mind control by tapping into the frequency modulations of microchips and biochips. With the electronic slave grid in place, they can subtly influence the masses without their knowledge. Yeah. The only reason why we haven't seen the activation of sleeper agents and a Fourth Reich yet is because they are still trying to gold plate all their toilets in the underground bases, and we are also receiving divine intervention. Even amongst their own ranks, there is discontent. Not all Nazis desire to live underground or in a slave grid, and not all people are completely mind controllable. Whoa. In the Nazi concentration camps, mind scientists were busy trying to figure out how to make Jews more submissive. The Nazis realized if they added fluoride to the water, they could pacify the Jews. This is why fluoride was introduced into the water supply soon after World War II. Fluoride calcifies the pineal gland, which reduces intuition and ability to resist authority. In Dachau, D-A-C-H-A-U, inmates were slipped hallucinogenic drugs such as mescaline combined with hypnosis. Mescaline is M-E-S-C-A-L-I-N-E. In Auschwitz, the infamous Dr. Joseph Mengele discovered some of the starving Jews would become cannibalistic and shapeshift into reptilian creatures. Subjects were also tested for new methods of torture, which may have included attack dogs and or electroshock to study trauma bonding. Oh Lord. Most of those experimented upon died. He was known to be gentle at one moment and in the next moment explode into rage. Victims would watch him pace back and forth playing the I love you not Daisy game. When he removed the last pedal, he would then torture and kill a small child in front of a victim in order to split the mind for more trauma-based programming. Okay. He would place victims in cages with monkeys that were taught to be violent. Victims would not be allowed to cry, scream, or show any emotion in the process because they would be torn apart themselves. As a result of these studies, he became world's leading, he became world's leading expert on creating multiple personality disorder in adults. Oh my gosh. There are no words, y'all. There he is. Okie dokie. Joseph Mengele, Dr. Green, was coined the Angel of Death in the Nazi concentration camps. The government downplayed his involvement at the Nuremberg trials to confuse investigators about his whereabouts. U.S. officials would report he was in Paraguay or Brazil, or simply that he was dead. In fact, the U.S. government brought him to the United States to China Lake Naval Base. Oh my God. In the desert of California to continue mind control experiments. Incidentally, nearby in Lancaster, California, mass graves of mutilated children's bodies were found. What? In 1947, under the urging of Nazi spy George Bush Sr., Congress set up the Office of Office of Strategic Service, or the OSS, which was a precursor for the CIA. The OSS was just itching to get a hold of secret Nazi research. With the help of George Herbert Bush, Wild Bill Donovan and Alan Dulles, D-U-L-L-E-S, the OSS and Nazi SS merged to create the CIA, oh my God, coined Project Paperclip, and its Nazi counterpart Odessa, the CIA covertly transferred roughly 50,000 Nazi scientists into the American military-industrial complex. Oh my God. These Project Paperclip Nazis were then given new identities and appointed into important research positions with the U.S. federal government, such as NASA, after the war money from the black budget allowed them to continue their mind control research in American military bases, hospitals, and universities. Group of Project Paperclip German physicists at Fort Bliss, Texas, circa 1947. Oh my God. And there's a lot of them. Here they spun off 3 primary branches of mind control projects: Project MK Ultra, Project Monarch, and Project Montauk. MK Ultra was a CIA umbrella project which consisted of 149 sub-projects. MK Ultra psychiatrists, conducted studies in narco-hypnosis, memory erasure, implants, ESP, sleep deprivation, etc. These experiments took place primarily in the 1950s and 60s and led to research in a completely mind-controlled robotic slave. Oh man. The term MK Ultra stands for the German word Menschen, M-E-N-S-C-H-E-N, meaning human, and control with a K and 2 L's, K-O-N-T-R-O-L-L-E, or control, and ultra was a term which refers to military intelligence which is considered ultra secret. Victims are sometimes referred to as Mark Ultra. Also, according to MIB agent Jimmy Payne, P-A-I-N-E, MK Ultra stands for Manufactured Killers Utilizing Tradecraft Requiring Assassination. Project Monarch's subjects suffered from structured trauma-based mind control programming, just like how a caterpillar goes through a chrysalis stage to be reborn into a monarch butterfly. So too were W-H-E-R-E, were victims of trauma reborn and Manchurian candidates, sex slaves and drug mules. This was a continuation of research conducted by the planetary corporation Monarch Solutions. The research gathered in Project Monarch led to another offshoot known as Project Montauk, M-O-N-T-A-U-K, headed by Jack Pruitt, P-R-U-I-T-T, and overseen by the Scorpion Corporation. This program sought to interface mind control victims in an alien-styled consciousness chair, which could open up wormhole time tunnels and manipulate matter. There were 25 locations where the programming took place, so it's not just all under Montauk Point, New York. The program started off as Project Phoenix, which branched off into the Philadelphia experiment. I gotta look into that. Which was seeking to ton, that's probably a typo, to TUN, a Navy ship Invisible. Instead, it was Lost in Time. Project Pegasus was involved jump rooms, which involved, hold on, I'm sorry. My mind, since I'm a Marine Corps veteran, I'm thinking all that military stuff, they're like hospitals and all that. Anyway, what were they doing? And what, did they do anything to us? I don't know. And then this year with the Philadelphia experiment, that's that one where they sent that Navy ship into a different time, but it got lost. I wonder if that's that one where they came back and they had misshapen limbs, or some of them had 4 arms or whatever, they didn't come back correctly. I don't know if that's any different. Project Pegasus, which involved jump rooms and portal technology into the past, and Montauk, which focused on the psychic potential to time travel the participant. Many of those involved with these projects underwent the most severe forms of sexual and physical abuse possible. This often involved needles in the genitalia and electroshock treatments. The purpose of this trauma was to split the soul into many fragments, which could then be robotically programmed. The medical term for this condition is called dissociative identity disorder. Most of those who underwent these treatments died during the programming procedures, but those who survived went on to become sleeper agents, performing tasks as drug trafficking mules, information couriers, politicians, assassins, and sex slaves. When an agent's programming was triggered, alters would activate and perform a certain task. After the task or mission was complete, their memories would be erased and they would be returned to their normal states. All the while, they had no knowledge of the double life they may have been leading. Well, and I'm over again.